Welcome to the Dungeons & Dragons starter set, Heroes of the Borderlands. If you haven't set up your game yet, but you need to walk through that, check out our setup video and then come right back. Otherwise, you've opened the box, you've organized the components, you've created a character, and you're ready to play. And know that if you're ever feeling lost, the components in this set have all the crucial information right on them. Players have cards for all of their equipment and spells, and handy on-your-turn cards for when they get stuck. The Dungeon Master has maps, tokens, and monster cards for everything they need, and they even have a combat tracker to make running combat super easy. Characters should have a class board, species card, and background card, each outfitted with hit point tokens and/or power tokens as necessary, along with any components from the What You Need to Play boxes. Meanwhile, DMs should have an adventure booklet and the box close by for anything they may need during play. Let's take a look at some gameplay examples by walking through the first section of the Wilderness adventure booklet. The Dungeon Master should open the booklet and follow the instructions in the What You Need to Play box. They present the players with the large Wilderness map placed in the center of the table. Then read the following boxed text aloud. Your adventuring party enters the wilderness. Mysteries await you in this untamed land. Where do you want to go? Each wilderness region is roughly the same difficulty, but the trail region functions as a tutorial with helpful sidebars. Think of those as DM training wheels. If this is your very first time playing Dungeons & Dragons, encourage your players to start there. Otherwise, have them choose a region shown on the map. We're going to play through the trail section for this tutorial. You travel along a well-kept trail east of the Keep on the Borderlands, which is very castle-y. Gnarled tree roots and big rocks mark the edges of a 10-foot wide path. Next, roll on the Trail Encounters table in the booklet, or choose an encounter to run. If this is your first time, run them in the order presented. In this case, the Looted Wagon. A wagon stands on the trail ahead. The driver and horses are nowhere to be seen. The players now have an opportunity to react to the situation, ask questions of the DM, or otherwise take action in any way they imagine. This method of storytelling is called theater of the mind, and doesn't include maps, but instead happens in your collective imaginations. When playing with theater of the mind, you can take any action you can think of, or if you're at a loss, choose something from the On Your Turn card and do that, but describe it with even more detail.
Can my character see if any damage was done to the wagon? Or signs of a battle?
I check the ground nearby for any tracks or traces of footprints.
When the outcome of an action is uncertain, the game uses a 20-sided die, a d20, to determine success or failure. This roll is called a d20 test. An ability check is one type of d20 test. Now, let's return to the table and resolve the fighter's question first. Eli, is your fighter investigating the wagon from a distance?
I'll walk closer and survey the area.
Okay, then give me an intelligence investigation check.
I got a 12. My class board says I get a +2 to investigation rolls, so I got a total of 14.
The difficulty class was only 13, so you have succeeded in discovering some clues. It seems that the wagon was ambushed by bandits. There are broken arrows and scattered supplies that indicate a quick struggle.
I search inside the wagon for any remaining contents.
Okay, then I'm gonna need a wisdom perception check from you, Paula.
Okay, so I rolled an 8. According to my class board, I have a +5 perception skill, so that's 13.
Nice, that's also a success. So you find treasure that the bandits missed. The wagon holds supplies that were intended for the keep. There's animal feed, bales of hay, sacks of freshly milled flour, and stashed in one of the sacks is a purse that contains 12 gold pieces.
Praise the gods. We have been blessed by unfound fortunes.
As players explore, wilderness encounters occur across large tracts of unmapped backcountry. The text tells you when to use a poster map and tokens, otherwise you can resolve encounters using words and imagination. Once the players have resolved all their desired actions, continue with the next encounter, the Talkative Traveler. We see that the What You Need to Play box includes an NPC card, which the DM takes and shows the art side to the players. A young woman with a massive backpack and an eager smile hikes towards you along the trail. The traveler waves at you excitedly. "Good day," she says. "I'm Malin. Might you be adventurers?" I ask because I've been out here looking for adventures of my own to no avail. After camping out here for days, I still don't have any tales worth telling. Do you?
I'd like to tell her of my grand exploits cleansing the cursed temple of Cooper's Cove.
Is that a true story?
Of course not.
Okay, then I'm going to need you to roll for charisma deception about this grand yarn.
Okay, I rolled a 6 and I have a +2 deception, so that's an 8.
Yeah, that's not gonna be enough. Malin narrows her eyes at you suspiciously at this grandiose backstory. Since the player failed their deception check, the DM consults the booklet to see how Malin reacts. In this case, she encourages them to keep adventuring until they have something more interesting to share. Malin is a friendly wanderer, so there's no major consequences for failing to deceive her. Every creature has a starting attitude toward the characters: friendly, hostile, or indifferent. Regardless of attitude, creatures always defend themselves in combat. Speaking of combat, let's jump ahead a bit to the bandit ambush section of the trail region. Following the booklet's instructions, the DM lays out the trail map for the players to see. She places the player character tokens near the suggested start area and monster tokens for Prawl and his bandits on the poster map, as shown in the booklet. A handsome man in a green and gold tunic and fancy boots saunters out of the bushes. "Hello," he says as he casually blocks your path. "I'm Prawl. Perhaps you've heard of me?" Who am I kidding? Of course you have. Prawl draws a sword. "Your money and your equipment, please. This is a robbery."
Oh, I don't think so. I draw my greatsword, pointed at Prawl. "If you want my money, you can pry it from my awesome, muscly hands."
Prawl tisks in disapproval. He snaps his fingers, prompting more bandits to spring from the bushes with weapons drawn. In an instant, you're surrounded. After describing the scene, the DM tells the players to roll initiative to signal the start of combat. Players roll their own initiatives, using a d20 test with their initiative modifier to augment their roll. The DM rolls for Prawl, who gets his own initiative, and rolls one separately for the bandits, who all act on the same turn. The DM then adds combatants to the combat tracker. The DM writes down each combatant's name next to their initiative count. Each participant in the battle takes a turn in initiative order, starting with the highest number. When everyone involved in the combat has had a turn, the round ends. Repeat turns from the top of the order until the fighting stops. Eli, you're up first.
What can I do on my turn exactly?
That's a very good question. You can do any of the actions listed on the On Your Turn card or on your class board.
Well, since I'm fastest to act, I'll get the jump on Prawl, run up to him, and attack him with my greatsword.
Awesome. So, on this map, each square represents 5 feet, and he's just 1 square away. So, how far can you move?
30 feet.
Okay. Where would you like to go?
Yeah.
Beautiful. You leap towards Prawl, closing the short distance with blinding speed. His face contorts in surprise as you lunge at him. Make an attack roll. When a character attacks, whether swinging a sword or firing an arrow from a bow, that player makes an attack roll as listed under their equipment space on their class board. If the total is equal to or higher than the target's armor class, AC, the attack hits.
I rolled a 14 plus 5 for melee attack rolls, giving me a total of 19.
That beats his armor class. Your greatsword swings through his defenses and cuts through his armor. Give me a roll for damage, which is listed on your greatsword card.
My card says 2d6 plus strength. I got a 7 plus my strength of plus 3 for a total of 10 Damage.
Prawl staggers backward under your blow and gasps in pain, clutching his ribs, and grabs his rapier to counterattack. But according to the initiative, it's not his turn, it's Paula's.
Excellent. I cast the spell Toll the Dead. I point at this bandit, and the chime of a dolorous bell rings out.
All right, so the card says that the target of the spell, the bandit, has to make a wisdom save. That's a defensive roll known as a saving throw. So we're going to look at your spell save DC listed on the spell section of your board. What's that number?
13.
The bandit covers his ears to no avail. The ringing, it's inside his head. I'm gonna rule that he drops his crossbow and screams in confused pain. And then it is Prawl's turn in the initiative order, so he is going to thrust his rapier at you. Eli, what is your armor class?
My chainmail says I have an AC of 16.
Ooh. Prawl gets a total of 19, which is a hit. I will roll for his rapier's damage. That's gonna be 6 piercing damage. If you could please remove 6 hit point tokens from your class board. And remember, if you ever get to 0 hit points, you either fall unconscious or fall dead.
Don't worry, I have a healing spell that can restore those hit points on my next turn.
Sure. But there are 3 more bandits who get to act before that can happen. Will the fighter and cleric survive? Who knows? That's their story to live and play. You've got your own adventures to make. Now that you've seen the dice rolls and role-playing in action, it's your turn. Remember, the boards and cards provide all the crucial information you need to get rolling, and the play guide and its glossary can guide you through all the new terminology. Don't be afraid to take risks and chances in your storytelling, and most importantly, have fun.